Welcome to Research Talk. I hope you all are doing well. Now, in this journey of learning research in the context of counseling profession, we are in the last phase of our exploration, and as you could see on the screen, it says data analysis. So now we are starting the process of doing analysis in Excel. If you remember, I told you in previous video why we are doing Excel. We are doing Excel because Excel is widely accessible, and in my opinion it is also user friendly to do not very deep data analysis like multivariate analysis, but for what we do as professional school counselors or clinical mental health counselor or addiction counselor or any kind of counseling context, those kind of practitioner-oriented research, Excel is enough to run analysis. So we will learn how to use Excel for data analysis and also data visualization. If you remember in my previous video, I also talked about how to enter data, how to clean data in Excel. So that is the first step. So before you run any analysis in Excel, the first thing you should do is make sure you have entered the data in Excel and make sure the data is neat and clean. Please remember, any data that you are having in Excel in the numeric form, such as, we'll learn about how to transform your data from variable, which is, let's say, categorical variable, let's say male or female, into numbers. So we are coding the data because we are running analysis, and Excel needs coded data, the code book, to run those analyses. So when you are having the data in the form of numbers, I think it's very important to remember that those data are not numbers. Actually, they are people, persons, they are people's experiences. So keeping that thing in mind, and that requires us to be very mindful of the accuracy of the data. So when you are entering the data, check the scores. If I have entered the data, let's say about the stress measurement of students, then I'll make sure I recheck and make sure everything is good. If you remember, we also talked about in the previous video how you enter the data. So the ground rule of entering data in Excel is your rows are going to be in you're going to enter the data of persons, experiences, or whatever data. So rows are equal to people, or I would say participants in your study. And in Excel, the columns are going to be your variables. So when I'm going to enter the data, I will enter all my variables in columns, and then my rows will represent each participant responses to those variables. So whatever measurement is for each participant. So that's the ground rule we do. Whether your variable is a categorical variable, such as gender, male, female, or let's say a numerical variable, such as stress score or any kind of measurement we are making about the participants. So this is the ground rule you want to remember when you are entering the data. So now let's say you have entered the data, now you are ready for analysis in Excel. So the first type of statistics that is commonly used, and we call it descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics. So what is descriptive statistics? any statistics that describe the nature, that describe the data, that describe what is happening here. And that is, we call it descriptive statistics. What comes under descriptive statistics? A key analysis that we try to understand about any data, we call it central tendency of the data. What is central tendency? For instance, if I have a data, let's say any kind of score, let's say I have a score of student stress level, and that score varies from 1 to 10, 10 maximum, 1 minimum. Let's say I have a score of 2, 5, 8, 10, and this is from 4 people, 4 participants. Now I want to know what is the central value of this score. What values are situated at the center of the data, just like the middle of the data, and that is why we call it central tendencies. And when it comes to measuring central tendency of any data set, there are three types of statistics that we do. The first one, we call it average. You have heard about it, right? You know, we learn average in our middle school, how to measure average height, average score, average weight. And the second, we call it median. And the third, we call it mode. Average is also known as mean in statistics. So when you think about what is the central tendency of any data set, what we are referring to, maybe I can calculate average or mean of the data. I can do median, calculate median of the data, and I can do mode of the data. So that's what we are going to learn here, how to calculate mean, what is median, and what is mode. So let's start with the first topic. First, it's a statistical analysis that we all are going to do, and I'm sure some of you would have already done it. Like average is something we often calculate, like what is your average salary if somebody is working in a company where you have a fixed salary monthly, but also you have some extra compensation which is tied to your performance. So somebody might ask you, what is your average salary? So that will be like, you know, how much you are making every month on an average. So that's what, you know, average is. So I'm guessing you all know that. So but for the sake of explaining it, let's do that with an example. And we in statistics we use the word mean, which is equal to average. So what is the mean score of a given score? So let's say I have a, you know, let's take a data like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's say this is a score of a person's stress level. So now when you say mean actually mean is like what you do, you add all the scores and then you divide by the total number of the scores. And that's a formula I think we all are aware, most of us are aware, I guess. So if I have to calculate mean score here of these 5 participants, I will simply do 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, and then I divide it by total number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I divide it by 5, and then you get a score which is 40. So we add up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it comes 40, and it divided by 5, and the score is 8. So 8 is the mean score here. So that's what we call it, a mean score. And we will learn how it's very easy to do in Excel, so I'll demonstrate it later. Now let's move to the next concept, which is, we call it median. Now median is the middle score of any data set. What is the middle value of any data set? So take the same example. If I have these 5 scores, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let's say these are the stress levels of my 5 students that I measured. Now if I have to calculate median, what I need to do first of all is find the middle value, and to find the middle value you organize the data in increasing order. So as you could see, the data is already in increasing order, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If the data is not in increasing order, let's say if I have a data 8, 4, 2, 5, 6. So if I have this data, for instance, let me remove the top here. So we have the data set which is 8, 4, 2, 5, 6. Okay. Now if I have to calculate mean, first step is I need to organize the data in increasing order. So let's do that. So the minimum score is 2. The next one will come 4, and then 5, then I have 6 and 8. So I organize the data in increasing order here. Now find the middle score. What is the middle score? This is the middle score. This is the midpoint of the data, and we call this 5. So if I have to say what is the median of this data set, the answer is 5, because 5 is the central point of the data when we organize it in increasing order. So that's how you calculate mean. You take the middle value. Now let's say if the numbers here are like odd numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What if the values are, let's say, I add another value. So now there are 6 data sets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now how will I calculate central tendency, median of this data set? Now to calculate the median of the data set, there are 2 middle score now. If you look at the central score, so now these 2 are at the middle. So when you have even number of data points, the middle 2 numbers will be the central at the center. If you have an odd number of data point, then you have a clear middle number, and that is going to be your median. But now here we got 5 and 6 at the center of this data when we organize it in increasing order. So to calculate, what we do, you take the central 2 value and you add and divide by 2. So kind of calculating average. So 5 plus 6 is 11, and 11 divided by 2 will be 5.5. So our median is going to be 5.5. Now you may be thinking, what is the role of mean and median in terms of understanding, and when do you use median and when do you use mean? At times when you look at any data and you organize the data in increasing order, decreasing order, and let's say your focus is on understanding what is the midpoint of the data, that will be your median. Mean is more sort of telling you the average out score, like if you have all these scores, what is the average of everything, and you are considering all the data points. So when you calculate average, you are adding all the numbers because you are getting an average of all the scores. Here in mean, your median score is not decided by the outside number. Here 8 and 10 are not coming into picture. The central values, whatever lies at the center, whether they are two numbers or one number, we are considering that number. So that will be that's the difference between doing a mean and median. Another statistics which is commonly used to understand central tendency, we call it mode. What is mode? The mode is basically the maximum number of occurrence in any data. So what data point is occurring for the maximum number of time? Let's say I have a data set. So let's say this is a score of, take the same example of a stress score of students, and let's say the values are between, obviously 1 is minimum, 10 is maximum. So let me write some scores here. So let's say I have a score 1, 5, 8, 7, 2, and then let's say 7, 2, 5, let's say another 5, let's say another 5, let's say another 5. So how many students data set is here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 people here. And out of 11, which data set, which data point is occurring maximum number of time? So you see 1 is just occurring once. So 1 is 1 time. 5 is occurring how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. 8 is occurring only 1 time. 7 is 2 times, 1 and then 2. And then 1, 5, 8, this is 8. Now let's up to about the number 2. 2 is happening 1, 2 times. So in terms of frequency of the data, you see the 5 is happening the maximum number of time. So the mode of this data is 5. Mode is oftentimes in a statistical analysis we rely more on mean, median, but mode, depending on the need of the, what you want to know, what is your research question, you can use these statistics. But oftentimes what is more used is mean and median. That's what it tells you. So when it comes to descriptive statistics, a key way to understand that is understanding what is the central tendency of my data set. And to understand the central tendency of your data set, we use 3 types of statistical analysis. One is mean, which is average, where you calculate all the numbers together and then divide by the total number. Median is another central tendency to understand central tendency of a data, and then what you do, you first organize your data in increasing order and you look at the central values, and that value is your median. And in mode, you focus on what data point is happening the maximum number of times, so that shows your mode. Now let's go to my computer and let me show you how you calculate mean, median, and mode in your data set. Thank you.